Elliott.
Your car. And by Levi, the only jeans that shrink to fit you and you alone. Levi's Button Fly 501 Blues.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dover Downs International Speedway in Dover, Delaware. I'm Bob Varsha, inviting you to join us for USA Network coverage of NASCAR Grand National Racing, a class formerly known as late model sportsman. Joining me for today's coverage of the Dover 200 is Winston Cup driver Dick Brooks. Dick, it's the fastest mile anywhere on the NASCAR circuit. It's going to be a big challenge for these drivers today.
Well, Dover, Delaware is always a challenge for the drivers. I think it's a track that it doesn't have any consistency to it. It's a little bit different at each end. You set the car up for one end, and it doesn't feel well on the other end. It just more like a road course where you have to have a kind of a happy medium someplace, and you have to make the thing work the best you can all the way around. But I think all in all, I think everybody likes it. It's a good challenge racetrack. Today they're going to have a little bit of different tire compound. I think the cars are going to go to the top of the track a little bit higher or a little bit quicker than they have in the past, and I think everybody likes it. I used to like to do that, and I think most everybody does too. So I think all in all it's going to be a good challenging, good fun racetrack. And this sure is a pretty day for it, and it's a beautiful scenery up here.
It's a beautiful day indeed here at Dover, Delaware, and we're just about ready to go racing. Mark Garrow will be patrolling pit road for us today. We'll meet Mark just a little later, but now let's take a look at the way they'll line up for today's running of the Dover 200. On the pole, the 00 Thomas Brothers Oldsmobile of Brett Bodine, younger brother of Daytona 500 winner Jeff Bodine, alongside the man he bumped for the pole, three-time Winston Cup champion Darrell Waltrip out of Franklin, Tennessee in a Pontiac. Moving to row 2 will be the Buick of Davey Allison, youngest member of the Alabama gang of stock car racing legend, alongside the Oldsmobile of Larry Pearson, son of Winston Cup legend David Pearson. Row 3 will see Dale Jarrett in a Pontiac and the Olds of Jack Ingram, the Iron Man, 5-time series champion. Row 4 will be the Pontiac of L.D. Ottinger and the Buick of Tommy Houston, one of only 3 men to compete in all 120 races in this series. Row 5 will see the Pontiac of Randy LaJoie out of Newark, Connecticut on the inside. On the outside, Brad Teague also in a Pontiac. Moving to row 6, Larry Pollard in an Oldsmobile, a former crew chief for the likes of Richard Petty and Phil Parsons. Alongside will be another Oldsmobile driven by Charlie Luck, crewed by former series champion Sam Ard. Row 7 will see Kenny Burks in a Pontiac on the inside, Jimmy Lawson in another Pontiac on the outside. Row 8 will be Jimmy Hensley, runner-up in the Busch Grand National Series last year in a Chevy, alongside the Olds of Ronnie Silver. Row 9 will be Bosco Lowe in a Pontiac on the inside, Marv Treichler, former modified standout from up north, in a Pontiac as well. Row 10 will be a Chevy of Elton Sawyer on the inside, Brett Hearn's Pontiac on the outside. Row 11 will be Rick Mast in a Pontiac alongside a similar car being driven by Ed Barrier. Bobby Allison of Winston Cup fame is in a Buick on row 12 alongside Michael Williams. Michael Goldberg and Robert Ingram will be row 13. The Linville brothers, Dick and John, on row 14, and Joe Thurman and Ken Bouchard, the 15th row. We'll be back for the start of the Dover 200 right after this.
Honey, there's something I'd like you to sleep on tonight.
Oh?
I think we should apply for Union Fidelity's Guaranteed Life Plus, an insurance plan that pays top dollar cash benefits. I call their toll-free number. For free information, it came in the mail today. They say that folks like us, between 45 and 74, can't be turned down for any reason.
Any physical exams?
Nope, no health questions either.
Do we really need any more coverage?
This says an insurance policy bought 10 years ago has lost over half its value.
I had no idea. Will this insurance plan help?
Yep, and it covers both of us.
It must be expensive.
Wrong, dear. It's available at $4.95 a month, and that rate will never increase.
I won't have to sleep on this. Let's mail the application right away.
If you're age 45 to 74, for $4.95 a month, you too can be protected. Call toll-free 1-800-247-3900. That's 1-800-247-3900.
Place where the work gets done. Worth that's the measure of a man. This is the home of America's best. This is the home of America's best. This is Red Man Land. Red Man Land. Red Man Land.
When
When Warren Johnson is tearing down the track, he's under a lot of pressure. And so is Kurt, his son and chief mechanic. That's why he chooses a spark plug he can count on, Autolite. You see, the pressure in a high-powered engine like this is enough to melt down the tips of ordinary plugs, but Autolites are tough enough to take the heat of Warren's engine. Are they special racing plugs? No, they're the same kind you use in your car. But don't take it from Warren Johnson. Take it from Kurt, his mechanic, Autolite.
As the field of 30 winds through turn 3 and into turn 4 here at Dover Downs, the pace car comes off. Pole sitter Brett Bodine takes a quick look out the right-hand window at Darrell Waltrip. Beside him on the front row, both look ahead to official starter Harold Kinder, and the green flag is out. We're underway at Dover Downs on the Dover 200. Brett Bodine in car number 00 quickly out front with Waltrip in second, Larry Pearson in third, and Jack Ingram in fourth.
Brett Bodine took a very, very good jump, and I tell you, Darrell seen an opening to get down on the inside early, so he got down in there.
Down through turn 4, climbing onto the straightaway to complete the first lap. Bodine your leader, Waltrip second, Pearson third, Ingram fourth, and car number 95, Davey Allison, I believe, in fifth place.
Jack Ingram making a move to third place. The car, Larry Pearson, got a little bit high in a turn, and it's just kind of a no-no early part of this race. You can't do that.
Now they're down very low on a racetrack right now, Bill. Dick, excuse me. Is that where they're going to want to stay throughout the race?
Well, I think so. They're going to try to stay down there as long as they can. I think the car that's handling down there the best is going to be the one to beat. Brett is holding the car extremely tight in the middle of the turn, and that's going to make it tough for Darrell to do anything with.
Brett Bodine and Darrell Waltrip opening up a big early lead over Jack Ingram. Ingram there in the center of your picture, running in third place, followed by Davey Allison and Larry Pearson. Waltrip takes a look to the inside. Waltrip gets underneath Bodine heading into turn 2. But Bodine holds him off.
Couldn't do much with him. It's a little bit rough down there. The car gets to bounce around a little bit, especially in the early part of the race, and he just couldn't do anything with him. But Brett's having a little trouble keeping it in the bottom. See, he moves up about a half a lane, and then he can pull it back down. But Darrell gets a jump up on him, up to him off the fourth turn.
Completing the second lap, it's Bodine and Waltrip. Ingram now getting trouble from Davey Allison. Jack Ingram, 5-time champion in this series, way up on the outside in turn 1. Back down to the point. Darrell Waltrip stalking Brett Bodine. Bodine, the pole sitter, at 137.546 miles an hour. Once again, Darrell Waltrip looks inside as they head down the front straightaway. There's the gap between second and third place. Third now occupied by Davey Allison in car number 95.
Rick Mass is making a pit stop. They got the hood up on the car, so it's an early unscheduled stop for sure. This is definitely an unscheduled stop. They got some sort of engine problem. They got the hood up on the car, and that's a bad thing to happen this early in the race.
Rick Mast out of Rockridge, Bath, Virginia, one of the Chargers in this series, got to the racetrack late. Had to qualify in the second round and in trouble now. It doesn't take long to get in trouble here on the mile at Dover Downs. Each lap takes about 26, 27 seconds at race speed. There you see the third place car of Davey Allison trying to close the gap between himself and Darrell Waltrip in second place.
Yeah, he's doing a good job of it, too. He's really got the car dialed in, and he's going to be a factor just in a very short time.
Allison's father, Bobby Allison, a NASCAR Winston Cup legend in his own right, is also in this field. His car delayed in getting to the racetrack, reportedly by an accident. Hell, we've got a spin in turn 2. It's Allison. Davey Allison spins high in turn 2 and tags the outside wall.
Doesn't look at this point like there's too much damage. Maybe a little bit on the right front. If he can get it straightened just a little bit, may be able to go on. But he's got enough. It's going to be a little aerodynamic factor. He may have just got a little bit over anxious catching up sometimes. You'll get in a hurry, and That's what happens. That's what happens.
Here's a replay, and you see the back end coming around on Davey Allison.
You can see where he locked up the rear brakes, and then that turned it loose.
There, he tags the outside wall. It didn't look too hard. Allison is on pit road now, trailing tire smoke as he makes his way to his pit. There you see Allison having flattened that front end, and he goes right on down pit road and back out onto the racetrack.
Well, you can't do that in Winston Cup racing. I'm not for sure what the rule is in this. I don't think you can do it in this racing either. If you go through pit row like that and you don't make an effort to stop, then they're going to penalize him and hold him a lap. All he was trying to do was to get caught back up so he didn't lose a lap too quick. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. In this case, it may have cost him a penalty.
And so Davey Allison, who started third on the grid for today's Dover 200, limps back onto pit road and may be facing a much greater penalty than a bunch of dented bodywork on that Miller American Buick. We'll take this time out under yellow here at Dover and be back to the Dover 200 right after this.
If you think you can never wear Lee press-on nails because of the active things you do, try these. Active Length Lee press-on nails. Easy to put on as natural length, as flattering as Glamour Length Lee press-on nails, but in a length that beautifies active hands. Active Length Lee press-on nails. Beautiful, yet sturdy enough to use over and over. They take your favorite polish so well, they're almost impossible to chip. Active Women Press-On. Lee Active Length press-on nails.
For all those performance cars that want to keep performing even in wet, sloppy weather, Goodyear introduces the Eagle GT Plus 4. High performance and all-weather performance in one remarkable tire. The Eagle GT Plus 4. The performance won't be canceled by the weather. You either have Goodyear Eagles or you need them.
Imagine how you would feel if your child were ill-nourished,
without proper health care,
with no hope for a better future.
Wouldn't you want someone to help? We would.
That's why we sponsor a little boy in Africa through Foster Parents Plan.
Imagine, for just 72 cents a day, only $22 a month, you can make it possible for a child to have schooling, medical care, and hope.
It's the least we can do.
Foster Parents Plan, because your love does make the difference.
And 2 and 3 and...
Could you save a life if you had to?
2.
Tens of thousands of all heart attack deaths could be prevented if everybody knew Red Cross CPR.
1.
That's why the Red Cross offers classes in this life-saving procedure. Not just at their local chapters, but right where you work. Learn how to save a life. Call the American Red Cross.
Dover, where you're watching the number 95 of Davey Allison, who has not been put a lap down by officials after that pass down pit road at flank speed in order to avoid being put a lap down by the field after his accident. Starter Harold Kinder eyes the field, and we're about ready to go racing once again.
The green flag is out, and we're back underway. Brett Bodine quickly back out front. Darrell Waltrip and Jack Ingram close behind.
Got Jack Ingram caught up in a draft this time. Let's see if he can hang on. He was keeping up a little bit with Davey Allison a while ago, so he might be able to be a good factor in this thing.
Allison tagged the wall hard just a few laps ago, and he appears to be back on pit road, and there is Davey Allison getting more attention to that crippled number 95 car. But the bigger problem is he's about to go lap down because Brett Bodine is leading the field onto the front stretch.
Brett's car is really, really working fine. He's keeping a good, consistent turn. Darrell pushes up just a little bit in the middle of the corner, and then he can get a little jump on him coming off the turn, but Brett's not giving him anything. He's not letting him have the corner at all. He's really holding tight to him. He said at the early part of the show that he would really like to beat him, and I think he's going to try that.
There's the battle for third place. Jack Ingram at number 11, followed closely by Larry Pearson at number 21. Pearson, the son of another NASCAR legend, David Pearson.
Back on the point, three-time Winston Cup champion Darrell Waltrip all over Brett Bodine, taking a look to the inside. It's a battle of the young rookie and the wily veteran as Waltrip on the long backstretch looks inside Bodine once again and tries to make it stick this time. He's alongside. Darrell Waltrip takes over the lead from the 00 of Brett Bodine. Make your order now. Waltrip, Bodine, Ingram in third. Larry Pearson in fourth place as Darrell Waltrip leads the field down the front stretch. Bodine tries to go inside. Darrell Waltrip.
Oh, we were talking about Davey Allison. His daddy, Bobby Allison, has came all the way from 23rd spot and just went into 10th. So you got to give him a bit of a call. His car got here late. He didn't qualify until the second session, but he's got to run it pretty good.
Bobby Allison, perhaps the fastest car on the racetrack right now. But the battle is up front where Darrell Waltrip leads Brett Bodine as they head down into turn 1.
Brett's sticking good and tight to him.
There's
the car of Jack Ingram's is having a little bit of turn staying down on the bottom, and he's sliding up just a little bit. And when he does, Ricky Pearson slides up with him. So Larry Pearson slides up with him. So they're going to have to get the car a little bit tighter. And there's Brett going to try it again.
Here's Bodine underneath Waltrip. Bodine takes over first place once again.
And the fans love it. Bodine's close in this area, and Darrell's had a problem in his past. You know, people kind of growl at him a little bit anyway, and they got a chance right there to shake the fist at him, and Brett got to show him what he could do.
People seem to like not liking Darrell Waltrip. There you see the battle for third place. Jack Ingram opening up a little bit of a lead now over Larry Pearson in the number 21 car. Pearson, the son of NASCAR legend David Pearson, having a run at it in the Grand National class today. There is Bodine and Waltrip, first and second.
We now have word that Davey Allison is down on pit road. He's decided to give it up for the day, and veteran motorsport journalist Mark Garrow is standing by with Davey.
After hitting the first turn wall and going out there and trying to nurse his car, Davey Allison finally was been knocked out of the race. Davey, what eventually was the culprit that put you out?
Well, when I knocked the wall up there in the first turn, it pushed the grill down and sealed off the radiator from getting any air, so the car overheated.
As we watch, Brett Bodine lead Darrell Waltrip around. Third place is Jack Ingram. Fourth place, Larry Pearson. In fifth place, the number 2 car of L.D. Ottinger. Fifth through 10th place, Bobby Allison. They moved up from 23rd starting position, that is, now running unofficially in 6th place. 7th is Dale Jarrett. 8th, the number 45 car of Charlie Luck. And on the front straightaway, Darrell Waltrip dips underneath Brett Bodine and takes the lead.
He's going to keep trying as long as he could. I know he keeps coming up off the 4th turn, and he just jumping just a little bit. So I know sooner or later he's going to give it a try. And he's got him hooked up. Now we'll see if we can run away from him.
As we watch, Mark Garrow is standing by on pit road with Tommy Houston, who we thought was going to be a real contender today. He's apparently not. Let's find out why.
Tommy, what happened? Well, something broke on the brake bracket that holds the brake caliper on the right front wheel, and when it did, the thing got to vibrating real bad, and it worked loose on the brake caliper. It burned the right front wheel bearing out, and the nut is welded onto the end of the spindle. It's gotten so hot. You know, we can't get the nut off, so we're going to have to change spindle, pump, brake caliper, and the brake rotor. Try to get back in this race.
There is your leader, Waltrip. There is Brett Bodine running in 2nd place. Bobby Allison running as high as 7th. Took a trip down pit road and went right back out again.
Well, I don't think he meant to. I think he meant to stop. He just appears that he's got no brakes whatsoever.
Darrell Waltrip moving up on traffic, trying to shake Brett Bodine. Moving up close behind the number 4 car of Joe Thurman out of Rocky Mount, Virginia. Oh, we've got a spinner. Car number 16 spinning in turn 2. That's Jimmy Lawson.
He was in the garage a while ago. He may have had some sort of problem, too. Bobby Allison has certainly got a brake problem. He can't get stopped. He can't slow down. He's going to have to come in somewhere and hit something to stop.
Here's a replay of the number 16. Jimmy Lawson having trouble in turn 2. Same place that Davey Allison spun and hit the outside wall early in the race.
Yes, he just got down in it a little bit too hard, like we explained earlier. And where the track falls off, the car gets light. But when it hits the bottom, if you're not careful, it's going to spin out from under you.
There's Lawler now back under control, making his way around. We have a yellow flag out.
It's going to bring all the leaders down pit row. We'll see exactly what they do now. If they're going to try to go, this will force them to go at least one more stop. They can stop this time, do some tires, put some gas in, but they're going to have to make another stop now before the end of the race. So this is going to definitely shed a little light on the outcome of this.
And so with pit stops all up and down pit road here at Dover Downs International Speedway, we're going to get some jumbling of the order here in the Dover 200. Good look there at young Brett Bodine of the Thomas Brothers Country Hand car. There is Darrell Waltrip's car along the pits. This will jumble our standings, but we'll be back to try to sort it all out for you here at Dover right after these messages.
Compelling, concise, perceptive, focused.
It's all right here for you. And it's all right here for you. We'll help you understand the business of America and the world. And it's all right here for you. And it's all right here for you.
Success, money, business, finance, government, industry, insights, analysis, bulls, bears, mavericks, miracles, marketing, science, trends.
We'll help you understand the business of America and the world. And it's all right here for you.
Stocks, bonds, guts, savvy, politics, leaders, ladies.
Business Week. When was the last time you picked up a copy? It's clear, colorful, timely, with objective reporting that tells you exactly what's happening in business and how it impacts your business and personal life. But don't take our word for it. See for yourself. Call this toll-free number now. We'll send you 4 issues of Business Week absolutely free. No strings, no conditions. You see, we want Business Week to prove its worth to you. You'll also get a great offer. 32 issues, including your 4 free issues, for just $24.95. That's a full 60% savings off the cover price. Call now, and you'll also get this Business Week solar calculator free with your paid subscription. It's powered by any light source and requires no batteries. So call now.
Business Week, and it's all right here for you.
Call toll-free 1-800-922-4200. That's 1-800-922-4200.
We're back at the Dover 200, and what a story here. This is Bobby Allison climbing out of his car to join son Davey on the sidelines. Bobby Allison's crew suffered a flat tire just coming to Dover. He wasn't sure the car was ever going to make it. It got here late, he qualified badly, and now it looks like he's out of the race. We are under yellow, and interestingly, during this yellow, Brett Bodine and Jack Ingram changed only left side tires. The rest of the field changed rights. We're going to have to watch that. Right now, Mark Garrow has Bobby Allison.
Bobby, it was a short afternoon.
Yeah, the car really was running good and handling good, but we broke some studs on the right front hub, and that put us out for the day.
Looks like the guys up front have set a pretty quick pace early on in this race.
Well, we felt like we could catch them early, but when those studs broke, there was no way. It looks like a good race up front.
It is a good race indeed. His starter, Harold Kinder, waves the green flag, and Brett Bodine in 00 leads the field across the start-finish line. It's Bodine in first, Jack Ingram in second. Dale Jarrett lies third, L.D. Ottinger fourth, Larry Pearson is back in fifth, and Darrell Waltrip, who's done his share of leading, is in sixth position. Bodine slides up the racetrack. Jack Ingram takes a look underneath and moves alongside. Jack Ingram in number 11, the 5-time Busch Grand National Series champion, shakes over the lead from Brett Bodine. It's Ingram as they head out of turn 4 and down the front straightaway. There is Jarrett taking a look inside of Bodine, then tucks back up as they head into turn 1 one more time. 50-year-old Jack Ingram out of Asheville, North Carolina, the 5-time series champion. Back in 1972, when the series was known as the Late Model Sportsman event, Jack Ingram drove 80 races to win the championship. Over 1,000 starts in his career, 400 victories. Little look farther back in the pack there. There's Waltrip. Underneath, Larry Pearson looking for 5th place. Dale Jarrett in the center of your picture, running in 3rd. Waltrip still down low on the racetrack as Jack Ingram heads out of turn 2. Brett Bodine slides a little bit high. Ingram, your leader. Darrell Waltrip has completed his pass of Larry Pearson, and there's Darrell Waltrip now running 5th.
Dale Jarrett staying in good and tight in 3rd place. It's the first time he's been that strong. He's been running pretty good all day. He couldn't stay down tight on the bottom of the racetrack like he can now. So all the chassis adjustments and tire adjustments are definitely making a difference in it. We've got a good tight race there. Brett Bodine's car is coming back on Ingram. He wasn't for a while. It looked like he he's strong enough now.
Remember, among the front runners, only Ingram and Bodine changed left side tires during the last stop. Everybody else changed rights, and on a banked oval like here at Dover, tread wear and tire stagger could make all the difference. There is the Pontiac, number 20. That's Brett Hearn's machine on pit road. Hearn obviously out of it for the day as you watch the battle up on the point. Ingram leading Bodine. There is Darrell Waltrip underneath Dale Jarrett, taking over third place. It is now Ingram, Bodine, Waltrip, and Jarrett. Let's go down to Mark Garrow on pit road with Brett Hearn.
We're standing by on pit road with another disappointed driver, Brett Hearn, who interestingly enough is sponsored by a local college here in Dover, Delaware. It was a short afternoon.
We did the best that we could for them. We're a little short on horsepower, a little short on experience. And of all things, we had a shock eye brake, and we blistered the left front tire, and that kind of helped us go backwards in the beginning. But I want to thank Wesley College and D&D, and we'll be back in September at Dover.
Jack Ingram with Brett Bodine right behind. Darrell Waltrip in third place. Once again, Bodine slides high. He'll try Jack Ingram on the outside. Brett Bodine high up by the wall. Jack Ingram underneath.
Jack's going to let him have the outside. I think Brett might have found something. You know, we talked earlier about a little bit of change in the tire compound, and the cars may run higher on a racetrack quicker than they would generally. The track's getting hotter, it's getting slicker, and Brett certainly found something up there.
One lap after he starts it, Brett Bodine completes the pass of Jack Ingram, and Brett Bodine is back on the lead.
Darrell tried the same thing. He looked to the outside, and he couldn't do anything with it. Jack's closed him off. Brett has definitely found a higher groove. Darrell's going to try it a little bit, or it looked like he was going to try it. Ingram's going to hold his car down good and tight, see where he can go with it, but he may have to start hunting for another groove also. All that let Dale Jarrett catch up just a little bit, and he took a little different line a while ago, so I think they're all going to school on this just a little bit.
There's the front pack of 5. Excuse me, that was the second pack. This is the front pack of 4. Brett Bodine opening up a few car lengths now on Jack Ingram. Dale Jarrett running high on the racetrack in 4th. There is Waltrip. And Bodine down into turn 3. All of these cars seem to be able to run high or low if they choose to on the racetrack.
Well, they're doing a little bit better, but Brett has really found his spot. We kind of second-guessed him making a mistake by not changing right-side tires, but he's the one that can feel the car. He knows what it feels like, and he must have told him that the car really feels right. And as the tires get a little bit hotter, he's showing that.
As we approach the halfway mark in this race, Brett Bodine holds the lead. There's the battle for second. Darrell Waltrip trying to get an opening for Jack Ingram. Darrell down very low. Brett Bodine leading by 3 car lengths at this point. There you see the gap, first to third. Dale Jarrett coming into your picture in 4th position. Dale Jarrett. Now we got a spin up in turn 1 and 2. Looks like the number 18 car of Mike Williams. Mike Williams, who we saw on pit road with some kind of an adjustment problem earlier on, now has much more serious problems.
That'll bring out another caution flag. It's going to do a little bit more changing. It'll be interesting to see this time if Brett comes in. He's a little bit out of sync on his tire changing, but the car's working so well for him. We'll have to see where he comes in. The car of Jack Ingram's coming in, and so is Dale Jarrett. They're going to do some kind of chassis adjustment. They didn't like exactly what they had, so they're going to work on it.
Mike Williams out of Conover, North Carolina, apparently all right. Dick, what happens when you do get out of sync, as you mentioned, when pit strategy kind of goes out the window because of caution flags or handling problems that weren't predicted?
Well, the driver seems to think that everything's fine. He's working it. The car's working well for him. He can tell when his tires are starting to go away. And if he's not having that problem, he's going to do it. But he's going to come in pit road.
There, another look at the number 18 car of Mike Williams as he spun exiting turn 1. Kept the car under control and kept it out of traffic. Still in the car. Mike Williams in his car, apparently all right. Here is your leader, Brett Bodine, now on pit road, changing right side tires.
Well, see, he didn't do that last time, and that's what we were talking about, being a little bit out of sync on tire changing.
Out of sync or not, your leader, Brett Bodine, will have fresh right side tires and a full tank of gas as the Dover 200 continues here at Dover, Delaware. And we'll be back right after this.
This is Advanced Dream Away, an incredible weight loss plan that actually helps burn away fat while you sleep.
I lost over 20 pounds.
I not only lost weight with Dream Away, I kept it off.
And Dream Away has some documented results that are absolutely astounding.
I even had an intestinal bypass to lose weight. It didn't work, but the Dream Away did.
Just take Advanced Dream Away before going to bed, and you can wake up feeling slimmer and looking better than you did before. Try Advanced Dream Away for 30 days. If you don't see results that you would have thought impossible, return the unused portion for a full refund. Now you can dream away those extra pounds.
Use your credit card and call 1-800-453-1234 or send $19.95 plus $3 shipping to Advanced Dream Away, Box 5500, Phoenix, Arizona. But for COD and credit card orders, call 1-800-453-1234 right now.
Plan on entering the North Tack through the valley here. We'll go to the CP, contact Nell 73.
The United States Air Force offers opportunities for education and training. Training that will put you at the leading edge of today's technology. Find out how you can become part of today's Air Force. See your Air Force recruiter today.
That's Jenny, but that's not Jenny's dad. If she gets into that car, that may be the last time you'll see Jenny. I'm McGruff, the crime dog. See those kids? Every day in this country, 60 kids disappear. Some run away, but a lot are kidnapped by strangers, or even by people they know. So write to McGruff and teach your kids to protect themselves. Help take a bite out of crime.
For Delaware in the running of the NASCAR Busch Grand National Dover 200 here on USA Network. Darrell Waltrip is your leader as we're about ready to go racing again. Larry Pearson second, Brett Bodine third, Dale Jarrett fourth, and Jack Ingram fifth.
Darrell's working good on that restart now. The first two in the beginning of the race, he didn't get a good start at all. I don't know if he was setting to sleep or was having a problem, but if they did have a problem, they've got it fixed now. I think the main thing now will be to see whether Jack Ingram is as strong on the bottom of the racetrack. He can get on the bottom of the racetrack as strong as he was earlier. And, you know, he couldn't pass high on the track a while ago, but he was real strong on the bottom. We'll see what happens. He kind of takes a look under Dale Jarrett this time as they come up off the fourth turn, but he doesn't have anywhere to go.
Darrell Waltrip leading Larry Pearson. Running third, Brett Bodine. There's Jack Ingram, number 11, trying to get underneath Dale Jarrett in the number 32 car.
He keeps taking a look under Jarrett, but Jarrett pinches him down coming off the turn. And remember earlier, Jack was having more trouble coming off the corner than any place else. But he's good and tight under there now, and he takes another peek.
Darrell Waltrip leading the pack through turns 1 and 2. A big crowd on hand today here at Dover Downs as we watch Jack Ingram getting underneath Dale Jarrett and moving into fourth place.
He's strong on the bottom, and he can really run down there. We're going to see him, I think, give Darrell a pretty good run if he can get through the traffic and get up there before he uses his tires up. But he is strong on the bottom.
Jack Ingram now sets his sights on the third place car of Brett Bodine.
Brett's got his car dialed in a little bit better than he had before, and as you can see, he's trying to get a shot at Larry Pearson. Larry Pearson's running better and better each race. He's just and he's doing better here. Each caution flag, he seems to be staying a little bit better. He didn't make any chassis adjustments that time. He's just driving the car.
Darrell Waltrip dipping down low through turns 1 and 2. There's the gap to second place Pearson, followed by Bodine. There is Ken Bouchard in the number 10 car leading Brad Teague. Those cars running back in the 8 to 10 area, and Ken Bouchard gets some severe tire smoke as he pushes his way through turn 4. And on the back backstretch. Brett Bodine is on the move. Brett Bodine goes underneath Larry Pearson, and Jack Ingram wants a chance too. Jack Ingram goes underneath Pearson and moves into the third spot. So Brett Bodine and Jack Ingram have their own little train going, and they draft past Larry Pearson up into second and third spots.
We'll give them a chance to see if they can make a run now, Darrell. Jack's going to have a lot of trouble with Brett Bodine's car because Brett can stay right on the bottom of the racetrack, and that's where Jack Ingram runs the best. But he may have all the trouble he wants because Brett's strong.
There's a battle in the 6th and 7th spots. LDR, Ottinger, and Charlie Lark. We get word that car number 6, Tommy Houston, is back into the race. He's got the whole front end of his car changed, and he is 100 laps down. So Tommy Houston will appear a good ways back in the box score of this race.
That's how you keep the points going, though. He's got 60 laps to make up on however many cars that's dropped out. And those guys running for the points have to continue to do that.
Tommy Houston will hold on and apparently finish today's race, but this man, Darrell Waltrip, is on the point. Waltrip now fleshing out his lead a little bit over a two-car train in second place with Brett Bodine and Jack Ingram. There you see the car number 6, Tommy Houston, making his way around Dover Downs. Houston out of Hickory, North Carolina, trying to stay in the points battle, as Dick mentioned. But for now, this man, three-time Winston Cup champ, Darrell Waltrip, leads the way. Here comes Jack Ingram now diving underneath Brett Bodine, looking for second place on the backstretch, moving into the fastest part of the racetrack for Ingram, and he takes Bodine. Jack Ingram moves into second place, and Bodine moves up to his bumper.
Well, you had to get back down because Bodine was going to go back under if he had it. That kind of stuff really hurts the racing.
Jack Ingram leads Brett Bodine, and now we'll see if Ingram can set his sights on Darrell Waltrip and move up.
The same thing could happen to Jack Ingram's car now that Bodine is on his bumper. He's changing the whole handling part of the car, so we'll see what happens to Jack. If he can stay down low, which he's not doing, he slipped up under, and look at there. Brett just slides down underneath him like that. So Jack's going to have to be very, very careful going into turn because Brett is a very aggressive driver. He's young and he's eager, and he doesn't think too much about what's happening out in front. It's only right now, and he had an opportunity to pass, and he got it.
You saw the tire smoke as Jack Ingram had to make the hard left turn to get back down behind Brett Bodine. Ingram will try Bodine again.
Bodine moves up just a little bit, gives him a little bit of running room. Jack takes a good look at it, and he's strong up off the turn. I think Jack Ingram can run faster. I think if they got together, they could run quicker. There's another pass on the racetrack by Dale Jarrett. Dale Jarrett's passing Larry Pearson, and it's about the same situation. They're having no trouble running back and forth with each other.
There you see Dale Jarrett right underneath Larry Pearson as he moves up on the outside.
About 2 more laps. They've been running that way for a lap and a half or so, and they're not really going anywhere either. So that really slows the cars down. Of course, you can't blame one driver for wanting to be in front of the other. That's what it's called, racing. So every one of them out there want to be in the front. A bunch of race drivers are.
And we're getting great racing. There, Dale Jarrett now opening up a lead over Larry Pearson. Jarrett now running in 4th position. Moving down the backstretch and into turn 3.
Ingram and Brett Bodine passing a slower car, and Ingram really had to back off one in the third turn, so his car's not working really, really well on the outside.
There's your leader, Darrell Waltrip. Here's the gap. Good shot there. Coming up in second and third place. Jack Ingram leads Brett Bodine in pursuit of Waltrip. Average race speed thus far, 103.189 miles per hour. That's considerably under the record for this race, around 109 miles an hour. Dale Jarrett leading Larry Pearson. Still running 4th and 5th. Ingram leading Brett Bodine. Both in pursuit of Darrell Waltrip. The gap has not widened appreciably between Waltrip and you see here.
They're having a problem. They're not really racing to race fast. I'm talking about Brett much like this it does. The car behind the car affects the car in front just about as bad as it does if they're vice versa. And that's what they're doing. They're not running in a line. Brett's trying him every chance he gets, and that's not good for running fast. That messes the front car up. The driver has to not only worry about his car, the air changing behind his car all the time, he has to keep watching in the mirror to where the guy is. When he goes in the corner, he's got to look to make sure he's still behind him, or he hasn't snuck up beside him from one place or another. And that has an effect on the way you run. So if those guys would get together, I think they can run a little bit quicker.
They've also got to be concerned about time. They're running out of time to run quicker. The records to catch this guy, Darrell Waltrip. We'll be back for the conclusion of the Dover 200 right after these words.
Everybody say honey.
Welcome to the Bear Family Reunion. There's Mother Bear and Father Bear and Buster Bear, Cousin Leonardo Bear, the famed painter, Auntie Mine Bear, the actress, and her husband, the very rich Banker Bear.
What's your view of Wall Street?
I'm bearish. The Bear family has roots in a noble tradition with a humped back, round body, long arms, big feet, jointed legs, arms, and head that mark the true Teddy. This portrait of the Bear family reunion and the Bears themselves make every home a happier place. Simply call 1-800-453-9000 and Mother Bear will soon arrive, complete with summer hat, scarf, and flower basket. Then, each month, another member of the family arrives, 12 in all, each only $16.95, a remarkable price for handmade, authentic teddies of this quality, far less than you pay for comparable quality in retail stores. Best order by credit card or pay COD with a $2 service charge. Or mail your check or money order for $18.90, payable to Bears, Box 800, Bear, Delaware. There's no risk. You may return any bear within 30 days to Kent Collectibles. The adjustable stand, this parchment scroll of the Bear family tree, and the full-color portrait are yours. No added charge. Bring the Bear family into your family. Call 1-800-453-9000.
This is the place where the work gets done. Work, that's the measure of a man. This is the home of America's best. This is the home of America's best. This is Red Man Land. Red Man Land. Red Man Land.
Darrell Waltrip, number 17, remains your leader as we enter the waning laps of this Dover 200 here in Dover, Delaware. Waltrip moving in on number 10, Ken Bouchard, to put him another lap down. And there you see the gap from Waltrip back to second and third place. Jack Ingram coming down from the high side over Brett Bodine in number 00. Ingram and Bodine trying together to do what they've been unable to do for the last few laps, and that is make a dent in this enormous lead held by Darrell Waltrip out of Franklin, Tennessee. Waltrip moving easily into turn one. Bouchard several laps down now, and there you see Bodine has moved under Ingram. Brett Bodine taking over second place from Jack Ingram and quickly opens up a 4-car length lead. Could Ingram be having problems at this late point? Or has Brett Bodine just decided it's now time to try to move in on Darrell Waltrip? Ingram falling farther and farther behind. It's too late in the race, one would think, for Jack Ingram to get too far back. I wonder if there's something wrong with his car, Dick.
Ingram's car's been pushing a little bit. They were talking about that earlier. In the pits, they were talking about his car pushing a little bit when he's in the front. So maybe he can't run quite as fast as Bodine can out front. We'll see as they go along. If Bodine runs away from him, then Jack was actually holding him up some. If Jack's car was pushing some and he could get in a good tight draft, he could run quicker.
There is Jack Ingram now running third. There's the news. Tommy Houston moves on to pit road.
He didn't last very long. He's 100 laps down, and he comes back in, and he's got problems again. I'll tell you, sometimes it just don't pay to get up. I don't know if Darrell slowed down just a little bit, or maybe Brett is running a little bit quicker. But he's picked up about two seconds on us. Of course, Darrell, you know, he's no fool. He knows that if you slow down a little bit, you save a little fuel, and you also save your tire wear. So they got 20 laps to go. He slowed it down just a little bit. conserves his tires. And if Brett were to catch him, he couldn't do much with him.
Let's go down to Mark Garrow in Jack Ingram's pit once again.
Jack Ingram in the Skoal Bandit car has been slowing slightly towards the end of the Dover 200. We're talking with crew chief Travis Carter. Travis, is there a problem with Jack's car? He's dropped back behind Bodine.
About 10 laps prior to now, he radioed that he thought he had a tire leaking down. The car didn't seem to be handling well as it did, so he might have a tire with a very, very slow leak. It seems to be giving him a problem, but even with that, he might have enough to try to get Bodine maybe 2 or 3 laps before the end.
And while that battle continues for second place, this man, Darrell Waltrip, continues to lead. Now, this may look like just a number 17 race car to you, but to Waltrip, it's a whole lot more than that. And our Mark Garrow earlier today visited with Darrell Waltrip to learn more about his favorite race car.
Darrell Waltrip has been happily married to wife Stevie for many years. But when it comes to Grand National racing, he's fond of another young lady, too. Her name is Virginia, and she's been faithfully serving the Franklin, Tennessee driver since 1978. And together, they've won 2/3 of the races they've run.
So that's a smart race car. I've had that car for 10 years. I built it when I was at Dygard in 1978, and it was a winner right off. And I'm sure you know the story, but anyway, Dygard sold her in about 79, I believe it was, or 80. And they sat in a warehouse for a couple of years. I found out about it and bought the car back from the Raymont boys, actually, and we freshened her all up and got her going again, and she's just as good as she ever was. She's won a lot of races for me. That car's made me a lot of money.
Darrell Waltrip out of Franklin, Tennessee, driving a car that he calls Old Bertha, but his teammate has decided to name Virginia, so Darrell says he'll go along with that, too.
Well, they could be Bertha's Virginia's sister or something. He likes to name his cars and his dogs. But his car's working awful well. Old Bertha's stuck to the bottom right now, too.
Long history to this particular race car, a 1977 Pontiac. Darrell is also driving a new Chevrolet on the Grand National Series. He has won with that car this year as well. Grand National Series is the development ground for the V6 power that the NASCAR Winston Cup cars will be using in years to come. V6 will be the engine of the future. Mark Garrow is standing by in Bodine's pits. Let's go to him now.
There's only a few laps left in the Dover 200. Crew Chief Jerry Keenan for Brett Bodine. Can Brett turn up the wick and catch Darrell, or are you just riding it out for second?
No, we're not riding it out. We've got it all hanging out now. We're going to try to catch him. The way I got it figured, I don't see how Waltrip can make it on gas, and we're really pressing hard right now.
Can you make it the rest of the way on gas?
Yeah, we got it made easy.
I wonder how he figures that he can make it the rest of the way and Waltrip can't. They all stopped about the same time. You don't think he reckons he has a little more gas than everybody else does?
I wonder. So some question, at least in the minds of the runner-up crew. Brett Bodine's pit wondering whether Darrell Waltrip can go all the way.
Well, I bet you if you ask Darrell Waltrip's crew, they can say yes.
Maybe we'll do just that. Moving around the number 4 car of Joe Thurman from Rocky Mount, Virginia. Darrell Waltrip making his way in the lead. This man, Brett Bodine, who started from the pole, running in second place. Waltrip down the long front straightaway, dropping into turn 1, and it is a drop. Long downhill slide to the bottom of the turn. There's Brett Bodine making his way through the turn. It seems Bodine has made up a little bit on Waltrip.
Well, Jack Ingram is making up some on Brett Bodine, too. I don't know if Brett may be pushing just a little bit too hard and is slowing the car down a little bit, but Jack Ingram has closed the gap considerably on him. Darrell's car looks like it's on a string. I don't think he's doing anything except sitting under eating a sandwich.
Playing the radio, Darrell Waltrip. Just a few laps remaining now. No sign of problems for the Waltrip.
Ingram has really got Brett hooked up. He's right on his bumper. He takes a look on the inside of him. It's going to be close. He's going to really work it.
Darrell Waltrip closing in. You saw a moment ago on the number 75 car of Brad Teague.
They got 3 laps to go, and Jack was just biding this time. He's got him on the inside going into the 3rd turn. And he passes.
And so defending series champion Jack Ingram will take over 2nd place from early leader Brett Bodine. But the story of the Dover 200 thus far has been this man, Darrell Waltrip in number 17, following Brad Teague around the track. 2 laps to go, and we expect to see the white flag displayed for Darrell Waltrip as he makes his next trip down the front straightaway here at Dover. Waltrip could pass Teague, or he could just lie back as you see the white flag there. 1 more trip around the Dover Mile for Darrell Waltrip out of Franklin, Tennessee. A lot of race miles and a lot of victories on this old Pontiac. You've heard Waltrip refer to it as Virginia, as Bertha. It has won him an awful lot of races, and today it will win him 1 more race at Dover, as Darrell Waltrip will win his 2nd straight Dover 200 on the Dover Downs International Speedway. And there you see the checkered flag for Darrell Waltrip with a wave to the crowd. There's your 2nd place finisher, Jack Ingram, leading Brett Bodine in 3rd. So it is Waltrip, Ingram, and Bodine in the top 3 positions in the Dover 200. There's the happy crew of Waltrip's Budweiser team. Wife Stevie sitting in the chair, timing and scoring laps as she often does for Darrell, both here on the Grand National circuit and on the Winston Cup circuit. Waltrip making his way down pit road now to the cheers of the crowd. Jack Ingram in 2nd place. Brett Bodine coming off turn 4. There you see Bodine in the 00 car in 3rd. A very disappointed Brett Bodine. He was the top qualifier, showed he had all the horsepower that Waltrip did, but it just was not to be. And we'll be back to talk with winner Darrell Waltrip right after this.
When a friend or a loved one is in the hospital, it can be scary. And sky-high healthcare costs only make matters worse. Unfortunately, Medicare isn't the complete solution, since it now covers less than half your healthcare costs. In fact, the Part A deductible that started at $40 is now $400, and your other in-hospital expenses have gone up proportionately. That's why I urge you to call Union Fidelity Life Insurance Company toll-free. You'll be sent a free information kit about a Medicare supplement insurance plan that matches Medicare's Part A deductible and copayments dollar for dollar. The rates are reasonable, and if you're 65 or over, you can't be turned down for any reason. So get the peace of mind you deserve. Call now.
Take Danny Thomas's advice and call for this important information today. Call toll-free 1-800-228-5678 or write to Danny Thomas, Trevose, PA 19049. Operators are standing by now.
If you think you can never wear Lee press-on nails because of the active things you do, try these. Active length Lee press-on nails. Easy to put on as natural length, as flattering as glamour length Lee press-on nails, but in a length that beautifies active hands. Active length Lee press-on nails. Beautiful, yet sturdy enough to use over and over. They take your favorite polish so well, they're almost impossible to chip. Active women press-on. Lee active length press-on nails.
Do high-performance machines set your pulse racing? Then hit the road with Car and Driver, the world's biggest-selling automotive magazine. Open her up and road test everything from sedans to sexy dream machines. See what's up the road in automotive engineering and design. Keep pace with racing news and the sheer romance of the road. Car and Driver, designed to satisfy your driving ambition. The September issue reveals how Detroit is solidly on track in building its own pure racing engine. At your newsstands now.
We're back at Dover Downs International Speedway in Dover, Delaware, where the happy scene continues at Victory Lane. Darrell Waltrip has won the Dover 200, and Mark Garrow is standing by now with Darrell.
Well, they've nicknamed this car Virginia, and the old gal did it again for you, Darrell.
It's a mighty fine race car. If I had about 10 like this one, I don't know what I'd do, but it's been awful good to us, and we treat her with a lot of tender love and care. Maybe that's part of it. Maybe that's something that goes along with it. Eddie and Donnie and Mark and Mark and all the boys that work so hard on this car, and Jeff. It really makes it run good, and I'm proud to win for them because they really work hard.
It was a very hot day. How was it physically for you in the race car? Was it a tough race?
Not too bad. We had timely cautions. You know, those long greens, that last long green got a little tiring, but I'd like to thank the Lord for a safe race and thank him for blessing us with this victory, and I'll give him a credit for what happens, and it was just a good day.
You kind of laid back a little bit earlier in the race. Was that by design? Was that a ploy to just kind of stay back there until you felt the race was coming back to you?
Well, we run quicker after we got out front than we had all day, so what I think happened was Jeff and Britt and Jack could run pretty good until their tires gave up. So when their tires gave up, we were able to go on. I think that was the difference.
And congratulations once again to Darrell Waltrip for his second successive victory in the Dover 200 here at Dover, Delaware. We'll take a look at the top 5 here. Congratulations also to Brett Bodine, who lost out in a battle with a couple of wily veterans in Darrell Waltrip and Jack Inger.
And so our congratulations go out to Darrell Waltrip for his victory in today's Dover 200 at Dover International Speedway. Dick Brooks, your impressions of the race.
Well, I think that Darrell had a very, very good handling car on hot tires. I think it proved that at the end when they had a long run with no cautions. He could drive away when Jack Ingram's car and Brett Bodine's car started slipping and sliding a little bit. Jack had a good run at the end. He got Brett, pinched him off at the end for the second place. And I think all in all, they had a good race. It was a good, safe race. There was a little bit of excitement for the crowd, and I kind of enjoyed it. And you know, Darrell's strong, and when he gets out in front, he just gets to run his own race, and he did that today.
He did indeed. We hope you enjoyed our coverage of today's race. For Dick Brooks, Mark Garrow, and myself, Bob Varsha, join us next time, and so long from Dover Downs in Dover, Delaware.
This USA Sports presentation of the Dover 200 has been brought to you by Armor All. It's the finishing touch every time you wash your car.
For Players Club International, Mr. Telly Savalas.
You know, I love the excitement in Atlantic City and Las Vegas, and okay, I get VIP treatment. Now, you too can get VIP treatment and big savings just by carrying the Players Club Go Card.
You too can save 25 to 60% off rooms, 25 to 50% off top-name entertainment, always 25% off food and beverages.
And you'll never have to wait in long registration and show lines again. The Players Club Go Card, the way to go for incredible savings at some of the finest casino resorts in the world.
In Atlantic City, use the Players Club card at Aris Marina, Resorts International, Trump Plaza, The Saints. In Vegas, use it at the Riviera, Frontier, Sahara, Sands, The Mint, plus many other hotels in Reno, Tahoe, the Caribbean, around the world. Oh, yeah. Use your Players Club card to dine in one hotel, see a show in another, and spend the night in another.
Hey, no strings attached to get the club's benefits. You may save more than the cost of your membership the very first time you use your Players Club Go Card. After that, it's bonus time, baby. You listen to Telly? Call Players Club today.
Call me now. I'll send you all the information you need about Players Club. And if you join now, you'll receive this handsome travel wallet absolutely free.
Call 1-800-USA-1000 now. That's 1-800-USA-1000.
This is USA, America's All Entertainment Network.